Thank you very much, Dr. Salma Malik, for that very kind introduction. To Admiral Naveed Ashraf, the Chief of Pakistan Navy, Chief of Navies, and your staffs, Commandant of Coast Guard, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to all. Dopihar Bakhair. First of all, on behalf of our Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Jose Maria Ambrosio Espeleta, Philippine Navy, we thank Admiral Ashraf of the Pakistan Navy for your kind invitation to this engagement. This gathering underscores the continuous need for collaboration built on confidence-building measures such as this dialogue. Such efforts are crucial and contribute significantly to addressing the maritime security challenges we all face today. While maritime security issues vary in scope and intensity across the world, it is important to remember that challenges in enforcing maritime security and the threats related to the maritime domain are not just isolated concerns, but a global one. In the Philippines case, our geographic makeup of being maritime and archipelagic shapes realities that we cannot ignore. For instance, we are more vulnerable to threats present in our maritime landscape, such as overfishing, unregulated movement of illegal entities or items, oil spills, coral reef destruction, disastrous typhoons, and foreign incursion are common challenges on our end. But the fluid, boundless, and evolving nature of these maritime threats does not only affect us or other maritime littoral states. Such issues and challenges can go well beyond our borders. The existing maritime security challenges. As an example, Southeast Asia is on the front lines in terms of facing a myriad of intertwined and borderless maritime security challenges. These include piracy and armed robbery at sea, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, marine pollution and environmental degradation, climate change, rising sea levels, smuggling and trafficking, and maritime terrorism, cybersecurity challenges, and disputes over maritime boundaries. Some of these challenges are even considered threat multipliers, which have already exacerbated existing ones. Meanwhile, there is no doubt that any instability in the vast waters of Southeast Asia, particularly in the South China Sea, has detrimental effects outside of the region. Disruption to sea lines of communications can harm economies from other parts of the world. Threats to this region's marine ecosystem could have significant consequences for global food security, and heightened tension can lead to undesired conflict that undermines regional peace and stability and can potentially cause a ripple effect across the globe. The South China Sea is currently facing significant threats to its freedom and openness as part of the global commons. Unlawful activities such as large-scale island reclamation and construction of outposts on disputed features, as well as the growing prevalence of coercive behavior in the region, have denied neighboring littoral states from accessing the offshore resources entitled to them. Furthermore, freedom of navigation and operations is at risk due to the potential restriction of the South China Sea as a strategic sea lines of communication following the militarization of these outposts. In light of these growing threats, adherence to the rules-based order, specifically to international laws like the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which ensures a free and open Indo-Pacific, is more crucial now than ever. With that being said, it is therefore the shared responsibility of every member of the international community to address these maritime security challenges and mitigate the consequences that could have an impact worldwide, especially on the vulnerable regions of the world and members of society dependent on seas, such as the coastal and fishing communities of small littoral states. The intricate complexity of each issue requires sincere cooperation of not just a few countries concerned, but the entire community of nations. As the seas are not just the responsibility of a few, but the responsibility of all. Now, the Philippines' response. While there is still a long way to go, Philippine government agencies, including the Philippine Navy, have been continuously involved in various initiatives to discuss, mitigate, and find solutions against maritime security threats. Apart from the internally engaging relevant government agencies, the academe, and other stakeholders, the Philippines also actively participates in international engagements such as regional forums and dialogues. To name a few, these include the Western Pacific Naval Symposium and ASEAN-led initiatives such as the ASEAN Maritime Forum and the expanded ASEAN Maritime Forum, the ASEAN Regional Forum, and the ASEAN Navy Chiefs Meeting, which the Philippine Navy hosted in 2023. Through these avenues, the Philippines is able to discuss and collaborate on specific initiatives